Healthy relationships are a key part of healthy lifestyles. But what decisions contribute to creating a healthy relationship? There's actually quite a few. In a responsible relationship, the two partners decide to take full responsibility for their actions and behaviors. They accept accountability for their wrong deeds and avoid blaming their mistakes on each other. This ultimately builds a good sense of equality among the two members of the relationship and avoids putting the blame on only one member. And this in turn builds a good foundation for the relationship. Also, the two partners could decide to be honest with each other. They agree to tell each other the good and the bad in their lives without fearing judgment or criticism from one another. This builds a sense of trust between the two members, and this in turn establishes good and strong communication in the relationship, since communication is heavily dependent on trust. However, there are also a few decisions that could lead to an unhealthy relationship. For example, one member can decide to frequently invade the other member's privacy by monitoring their texts, emails, and social media accounts. Ultimately, this has a very negative impact on the relationship because it makes one of the members feel like they aren't trusted enough by the other member. This inevitably hinders the quality of communication in the relationship, since proper communication is essentially built on mutual trust. Also, one of the members might decide to apologize continuously for multiple mistakes in spite of not improving or changing behaviors. This is extremely degrading to the quality of the relationship because it puts one of the members through repeated pain, whether it be physical or emotional, and prevents that member from believing it will get any better. High school relationships have many positive elements, but one of them, though, is the relationship's ability to give their teenage members a chance to practice navigating intimate relationships before they embark on real-life adult relations. By being part of a high school relationship, teenage members begin to understand what decisions and actions contribute to a healthy, responsible relationship. In addition, they also begin to understand what factors lead to an unhealthy and irresponsible relationship just as well. As a result, these teenagers are more likely to be part of really healthy adult affinities since they wouldn't perform the same mistakes they did in high school. Also, having a high school partner gives teenagers a chance to understand what they're looking for in an intimate companion by enabling them to be part of several relationships with one or more different people. This in turn will help these teenagers select more suitable partners for them in their adult lives. There are many medical facts related to sexuality, but I'm only going to be talking about two of them. First, in the age range of 14 to 49 years, roughly 1 in 8 people in the US have been diagnosed with genital herpes. That's around 12.5% of the people in that age range. In that same age grouping in the US, 1 in 2 people have been diagnosed with HSV1, which is the primary cause of oral herpes. Second, a relatively small number of people had been using LARC contraceptives, since in the years 2006 and 2007, only 14% of women in the UK using contraception were using a LARC method. LARC contraceptives are long-acting reversible contraceptives and can include implants, injections, and intrauterine contraception, which features either copper or levonorgestrel. The media is one of the key environmental factors that affects sexual activity. This was especially noticeable in a study carried out in Osogbo, Nigeria. In that study, 400 undergraduates in various universities submitted questionnaires regarding their use of media and their sexual activity. The study found that 69.8% of the students who said they occasionally accessed sexually explicit content in the media also said they were sexually active. In addition, 78.6% of the students who said they often access sexual content also stated that they participated in sexual activity. Clearly, there is a significant correlation between the access of sexual content and overall sexual activity. This could be possibly due to the fact that not much guidance regarding sexuality is provided to teens and young adults. This eventually forces teenagers to turn to the media to learn about the various issues related to sexuality, such as STIs, contraception, and relationship behavior. However, the main problem lies in how the media often tends to portray sex with a positive bias, mostly without featuring the use of condoms or the consequences that can arise from unsafe sex, such as STIs. As a result, the media often causes teenagers to be attracted to participate in sexual activity without having sufficient knowledge of what could go wrong. A second key environmental factor that affects sexual activity is family structure. This claim was tested in a study carried out in Rakai, a rural district in Uganda. In this study, 1,940 girls aged 15 to 17 filled out a questionnaire regarding their sexual debut and participated in a census by the Rokai Health Sciences program that enumerated their household residents. Once the data was analyzed, the results were quite shocking. It appeared that only 31.7% of the girls who lived with both biological parents had had sex before the age of 16, while 68.2% of the girls who lived alone without their biological parents were already sexually active before they were 16 years old. According to this study, there seems to be quite a significant relationship between family structure and sexual activity. Why is this the case? One of the key roles of biological parents is to help their teenagers set proper sexual boundaries, and this is quite prevalent in a source found in the Works Cited page. Without the presence of biological parents in the family structure, the teenagers have no appropriate sense of sexual boundaries and are therefore more likely to defy these boundaries in a shorter amount of time. In addition, if the parents aren't involved in the family structure, then the teenager might act based on their own reasoning, which sometimes allows having sex at an earlier age.